finally, this will save you. Stop comparing yourself to other people. You're only on this planet to be you, not someone else's imitation of you.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Brose here. I'm back with a new video. Thank you guys for watching the Brose breakdown, and let's get into it. As you can see by the title, we're going to be discussing how comparison is actually killing you guys. And I don't mean literally, but I mean literally. Like, we have to stop comparing ourselves. And I want to talk about like how we unconsciously compare ourselves to consumers. Now you may think like, hey, I don't compare myself, or I don't do this, but you kind of do in a sense, and I'm gonna let you know how do you do it. But let's talk about the harmful effects. Comparing yourself to others can be harmful for several reasons, particularly because it often leads to negative emotions and undermines your self-esteem. And here are some key reasons on why. One, let's talk about distorted reality. Now, highlight reels / versus real life. People often compare behind the scenes with someone else's highlight reels. And since social media tends to amplify those successful images and achievements and not necessarily reflect the work that they do. So this often goes by, people always post, oh, I got into school, or oh, I got into this person's, or oh, I'm making $10,000, or oh, I made like this much money, or I have this many followers. But they really don't tell you how they did it. They really don't show you the growth. Now, some do, but most don't. Because most of the times people don't want to show how bad they the things that they had to go through to get it.
Sean Kingston scammed me and my company. So I am a private jet broker for Nava Jets, and I also run their social media. So one day we got a message from Sean Kingston. He was interested in one of our planes for sale and came to Palm Beach with his family to see the plane. He said he was going on tour and wanted this plane ready soon, and there was no Wi-Fi. So we flew the plane from Palm Beach to Fort Lauderdale for our mechanics to install the Wi-Fi for him for it to be ready for his tour. And this was out of our expense. We had to pay the pilots and for the fuel and everything. He came again to Fort Lauderdale, brought his family and friends. We popped the champagnes, we shook hands, agreed on a price, and they signed the contract. The contract stated that the payment is due in full within the 3 days of signing. And Sean was posting that this is his jet, that he bought it with not even $1 down. He was telling us that we can be in him and Justin Bieber's new music video, just leading us on, saying that he would promote Nava Jets, and just a bunch of crap. When the third day came and the payment was due, they went ghost and they blocked us.
Just bought a jet. I just bought a jet. I just bought a jet. I just bought a... Hey, God is amazing. When they tell you they can't, you can't. They hating on you. They want you to stop. They try to make you get in depression and feel less about yourself. Tell them niggas you...
And that's understandable, because you don't want to show that in the light for people to use that against you. Because no matter how far you get, sometimes people will still hold on to that little thing you did to get there. So whether you didn't have it before, or you grinding while sleeping on an air mattress and things like that, you don't want to do, because you're scared that people are going to judge you, and that's why people don't want to show that side. And this creates unrealistic standards, and it lacks a lot of context. When you compare yourself to others, you often are not aware of the challenges, the struggles, and just the different behind the scenes work that leads to that point. This kind of plays into the part of like you unconsciously comparing yourself, because you're like, dang, I wish I would have got there, or dang, I wish I would have did that, or why am I 24 and I don't have this, or why am I 21 and I'm not in school, or why I'm this and I'm that, and it has to stop. Like, stop. Take a breath and just stop and look at yourself and focus on what you are doing. And that is just it. Also, it undermines your self-esteem. Now, it makes you feel less than or equal to, and you're constantly trying to measure up to other success. Like the whole thing of you should be this, you shouldn't live with your mom house by a certain age. Like, obviously, if you don't want to, that's not, you don't want to, or if you don't have the means to do it, you just don't have the means to do it. It's like you can do it or you don't want to do it, you just don't have the means to do it. Don't pressure yourself into feeling like you have to do it because other people have gotten there. You don't know what they're doing. They could be scamming.
Hold on, you're not getting on the stone.
Oh, okay. I'm getting on the stone, bro.
Or they just had a different route of success, or their parents probably plugged them with a good job that's really good. So that undermines of self-worth can manifest in that when you start seeing people your age, especially your peers, doing things that you wish you could do or wanted to do, but it's just not your time. Also, it creates anxiety and stress. And you all know the more you stress, the quicker that lifespan is. And we don't want that. We want to live long and healthy lives. Well, I don't know, in this economy. Psych, I'm joking, but seriously, comparing yourself to others, especially those seem to have achieved more or have certain qualities that you desire, can create pressure to keep up. Now, I always say, highlight what you're good at. Highlight something that you're good at. Just because you don't have certain qualities and things like that, okay, that's fine, because you're not going to have everything, but highlight what you're good at and what makes you unique and what makes you better than the rest. That's what I do. That's what other people do. This also goes into fear of judgment. Like I stated earlier, everybody's going to judge you. Everybody is. No matter, people are like, oh, I don't judge. They're going to judge you in a sense. And you judge people as well. Yes, I'm looking at you. You do judge people as well. And it's okay, because we all do it. Doesn't make it right, but we all do it. And whether we're consciously or unconsciously do it, we all do it. So now that you know that, you have to be okay with, okay, I'm going to get judged either way. Now you just have to live with that. And it's just something in life that we have to get used to. It's like one of those hard truths. Focus on external validation versus internal. So comparing yourself often can shift your focus to external success, such as appearance, status, and wealth, and constantly living for others based off a sense of worth. And I always say don't do that, because that's how you can gain a lot of evil spirits and evil people wishing on your downfall. It's super imperative not to go that route, and just probably keep certain things to yourself, or just share things that you feel as though that's going to, it was people that you feel like want to support you. Certain times when you're focused on external validation, it can breed jealousy, and jealousy can also kill you as well. And we don't want that, and it's sad that we do live in a world like that, but you got to be careful. So don't focus on external validation. Focus on internal. What makes you feel good? What feeds your soul? What is something that you are going to be able to do and look back and be happy with, and what's going to be your legacy? Then you kind of lose a loss of perspective and individuality when you're trying to compare and be like others. Neglecting your personal progress and focusing too much on comparison and trying to be like others, you kind of lack authenticity, and that can lead to you trying to imitate others in social norms, and that's how you get a lot of carbon copies out here. That's why a lot of people complain about why is there no creativity nowadays, and I think it also has to kind of do with social media, because people are always comparing themselves and always want to follow this niche or this type of prototype that's successful compared to other people, because they didn't really have that. They were able to develop themselves their own.
About 2 months afterwards, Brent Rivera comes out with the same exact thumbnail as Drew does, but he just horizontally flips it over the y-axis, changes some of the colors up, and then puts himself in there. He even keeps out the feet hanging out in the thumbnail.
So we have to try to put forth effort in what we want to do and what's not popular, whether other people think it's corny or not. And you always can find community within that niche space. And if you don't build one, you have the capacity to. Also, miss opportunities and self-importance. Again, instead of motivating you to improve, comparing yourself often can reinforce feeling inadequate. So instead of trying to improve on you personally, you probably want to improve so you can compare it to somebody else. And that's really not improving personal growth. That's just improving fit someone else's narrative or someone else's structure that they build. You want to make sure it's good. You are most likely going to fall into the category of self-criticism and not constructive criticism and constructive growth. There's a difference between the two. Self-criticism is just you constantly criticizing yourself for the smallest things, like the way you chew, the way you walk, and things like that. Sometimes you just can't help that. Instead of constant growth and focusing on how can I be a better person to this, how can I be nicer, how can I work things for my good and help other people and build community. And again, going back to jealousy, I think jealousy and resentment is something that happens. You often kind of start becoming jealous of others and not really being happy for them and wishing them the best. You constantly want them to stay stagnant so you can grow, and that's not good. That's not what a person should do in life. You should always want the next person to be successful, because if you win, the other person wins.
Lee!
What does that mean?
Some rush hour. Cool.
We don't have nothing like that.
feel like I've been here for a while. We don't have a thing.
Kevin!
Not the same. Something we should think about.
Yeah, that's
Right?
that's oh.
Them winning is kind of none of your business, you know what I mean? That's them, you know, they're focusing on them, so you focus on you. And you support from the long run. And you don't want to build that. You don't want to have resentment towards somebody that you don't know because you are unconsciously comparing yourself. That is kind of crazy work. If you think about it, so you don't want to do that. I would definitely say to break these cycles, shift your focus to self-growth again, practice gratitude, and maybe if you have to, limit your social media use or restrict it to certain content that's going to help you. Like if you want to listen to like, you know, motivational videos, or if you have to look at quotes, or if you have to look at things, but things are not forcing you to be unhappy and unsafe. I know when I was going through a situation, I just had to unplug myself. And that's sometimes what you have to do. It doesn't make you a bad person, because we all get certain feelings and things like that. But sometimes you have to step away, and that's good to step away and to process and to get it together until you can come back and just feel good about everything, about you, the other person, yourself, and just, you know, let go of that shit. And then self-compassion, be kind to yourself and having grace for yourself and being okay, like this has happened. I'm only one person, but as long as I'm trying, that's what I can do. Try your hard and just have that self-accountability. Now, don't feel sorry for yourself. And if you do, give yourself a day or a couple hours, but then get back on the ball and then try to do it. It's only so much we can feel sorry for ourselves in life. You know, I wish we could be sorry for ourselves forever, but you know, we can't, unless, because we have to continue to move and grow and develop. So we have to get out of that. And then just embrace your uniqueness. Like, embrace that thing that makes you different from others. As I get older, I embrace it more and more, and I think it comes with growth, and it comes with a great foundation of people to help you get that. And if you don't have a foundation, I'm sorry. Try YouTube or use social media for that, and that's where social media can come to play for the positive and not the negative. So I also want to talk about, in comparisons, like I mentioned earlier, the relationship with social media influencers and the rise of the parasocial relationships, and how they become a significant part of young people interacting in digital content and their self-image. This phenomenon has grown in intensity with the platforms like Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and have the ability to craft relatable yet often curated content that seems accessible and real to people. So when Gen Z are comparing themselves to influencers, it can be positive, but it also can be negative. Now, let's talk about the dynamics. So the illusion of intimacy. So social media influencers often create the illusion of being just like you, you know, sharing personal moments, thoughts, daily routines, and things like that. And Gen Z may view this as they feel like they know them personally and compare their lifestyle, which makes it easier to compare themselves to their influencers, such as their lifestyle, appearance, and achievements. And this kind of creates the personal connection, and they feel like they're emotionally invested into the influencer's life. Then you have the curated versus the real life. So again, you kind of see it's filtered. You know, you only see the successes or the goods, or where they're going this or they're going that way. You know, they don't show you them sitting on the couch eating potato chips, watching a Netflix show, being bored. And then, you know, of course, that creates the infamous FOMO, seeing influencers living their best life, whether on vacation with the perfect body or things like that. They may feel like they're missing out or they're not being a part when they're only showing a certain part of it. Now, it can either motivate you to want to do that stuff, but again, that can kill you, because you never know how far the extremes are going, or it could just, you know, you can realize that, hey, this is what I enjoy, but this is not my journey. Of course, I say this with all my heart and might. Practice media literacy. Oh my God, I cannot explain that enough. They need to teach this to everybody from ages 3 to my age. Like, do your research, research things, look at articles. Ask your mom, look at an encyclopedia before you believe something for it to be true. Focus on self-compassion. Again, that goes back to what I said earlier. I just want to reinforce that. Limits your exposure to toxic environments and content. If it's toxic, like if you want to watch a little crazy show, a little now and that's TV, a little Zeus, you know, watch it for a little bit, but don't continuously watching it. Then you're going to want to start fighting and kicking everybody you see who say something rude to you. That's not good. That's not how you do problem solving in real life, and you can go to jail for that. And you don't have time for that. And just engage with community and people who you feel is good and have good potential, you know what I mean, that you can connect with on a positive way. But don't do it overboard. Just do it when you feel like you can, and it's not going to affect your mood. Make it genuine and be intentional when you're doing it. And in the end, it's important to just recognize your self-worth and who you are, and just cultivating healthy relationships. You know, everything is good. Everybody knows you act kind of different when you're on social media, so don't put it past anybody acting different. I know when I first started my channel, I was very not myself. And I mean in a way of just suppressing my real personality, because, you know, you always feel like you have to confirm, but y'all getting what y'all getting now. But yes, that was kind of like 2 videos in one, but I just wanted to talk about how comparisons can kill you and just Gen Z's parasocial relationship with influencers. That was my little TED Talk for today. Thank you for watching the Brose Breakdown, and let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and share if you want. If you can't, if you don't, it's okay. A view is appreciated. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
And I was on a commercial flight, so I saw a picture that I liked. It was my mood picture, so I posted it. I put travel day. So someone's on the plane, they take a picture of me, right? And says, well, that's kind of odd. How is he flying private when he's right here in front of me?